So, as you may be aware, we are in the middle of an ongoing campaign by the Extinction Rebellion protesters. And I'm a huge supporter of Extinction Rebellion. I think they're making a whole series of incredibly important points, and that it's time that politicians here and around the world listened to them and took real, solid, decisive, large-scale action to prevent an environmental catastrophe that is absolutely knocking on our doors right now. As ever, with these kind of really important issues, it can be really, really difficult to get any significant press coverage. And this week, Extinction Rebellion has had some success on that front. So even the Daily Mail has covered some of their protests. And they've done this because a group of female protesters have been protesting topless in just masks, black trousers, and with messages written across their naked breasts. And they've been, even the Daily Mail has covered this. And, firstly, the women doing this protest are incredibly brave, right? The reason why it's women doing it is because it's perfectly legal for men to be topless. So they wouldn't be getting arrested. They wouldn't be drawing press attention. It's women doing this, knowing that they're going to be dragged through the press, and also knowing that they're at risk of going to court, having their freedom interrupted, having their lives interrupted. So it's really brave of them to do this. And they're also right in that people are not listening to women's voices in general in our society. And one of the few ways that you can get that sort of attention is by doing something like this. I mean, I just think about the upswell of support that appeared for Cardi B over the WAP controversy. And yet, last year when I released my mediocre rap about how what I'm interested in sexually is somebody who wants to go down on me for ages and then run me a nice hot bath, there was no coverage at all. What are the chances? But looking at the images from the protest made me intensely sad, because every single woman in these images has a voice, has something to say, something important, reasoned, articulate, nuanced, thoughtful, compassionate. And I don't want to live in a world where the best way for a woman to get her voice heard is not to raise it and speak up, but to silence it and write something in marker pen on her tits. I don't want to live in a world that treats women in that disrespectful way, and it's gutting that we do, because we've seen it over and over again. It seems like that's how we protest these days. It's tits against torture, boobs against bombs, go topless to end the sexual exploitation of women and girls. And the thing is that sexualising women's bodies, I'm sorry, Extinction Rebellion, but it is not an easy way to get a little bit of attention for the issue that you want to talk about. It's a part of the patriarchy. It's a key part of the patriarchy. And before I get accused of being, the I hate fun kind of feminist, let me be clear that I am all for female nudity, female sexual expression. I am totally in favour of it when it is done for fun, because you want to, for freedom, for the thrill of it, for the excitement of it, because you're enjoying it and you're having a great time. But as soon as it is being done because otherwise nobody will listen to you, that breaks my heart. That is not the way that we should be going about these things. And what we're ultimately doing is raising up one issue by exacerbating another. And I shouldn't do that when I'm talking about boobs, should I? It looks like Anyway, if you want to know my opinions in more detail, I'm not going to do that either. In the long run, it's counterproductive. And I'm sorry to be the one complaining that other people on the left are doing things wrong, but this is counterproductive. We have to find a better way of covering these issues. In the long run, it's going to have a negative impact that undoes the positive impact. If this kind of thing really worked, firstly, women would have been in charge for years. And secondly, if it really worked, men would do it. But have you been out on the streets watching the bollocks to Brexit protest where they're all flashing their nuts at Nigel Farage? No. Have you seen them stood around Tory party headquarters shouting knobs out, even though that is absolutely genius? You haven't seen it because it wouldn't work. We know it doesn't work. Please let's focus on finding something that works and that's constructive for all parts of the left and for all parts of our community.